Hey everybody, welcome to another Cricut tutorial. Today we are going to design our very own 3x6 ceramic tile. For these, I just like to go to the home improvement stores and get their really cheap subway tile. They're a lot of fun. You can do a lot with them. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is open up our Cricut website, our design space, and we're going to hit New Project. Now I like to make a little template so that I can see how it's going to lay on my tile. So what we're going to do is insert a shape. We're going to do a square. Now our tile is rectangular, so we need to unlock our square so that we can turn it into a 6x9 rectangle. So we know that it is 6 inches wide, which we'll just input up at the top right here where you can put your sizing. I just automatically put 6 inches. And then I'm going to go ahead and just reduce it myself to 3. And there we go. Now the tile that I'm going to use is going to be black, so I'm going to leave my tile black. If you do want to change your tile color, if you're going to use a white tile or a green tile or whatever color you're going to use, you just go over here to the right hand side, select your little circle, and select your color. So I'm going to make my tile black. I'm going to make my tile St. Patrick's Day themed just because it's coming up and I think it'd be really fun. So I'm going to do Kiss Me, I'm Irish with a little shamrock and some lips. So first thing we're going to do is put our text box up. So just go ahead over to the left hand side and click text and it's going to open a text box. I'm going to go ahead and write in Kiss Me, I'm Irish. Now obviously it's way too big for our square, which is fine. So we're going to go ahead and use this larger size, and I'm going to pick a font that I like. Now for me, I always go into my system fonts because those ones don't cost any money, and you can download those, and I have a tutorial how to download fonts as well. So we're just going to find a font that we like that's kind of fun. I think I'm going to do a swirly font just because I think that would look kind of pretty on this tile. I'm going to go ahead and change my font color now just so I can see it on my tile. I'm going to do green. I actually think I'm going to use a brighter green just so I can see it better, but I'm going to do a green for my vinyl so that it really pops. So again, we're still way, way, way too big here, so we're going to go ahead and reduce it down. Oops, and I didn't mean to grab my tile. I'm going to reduce it down a little bit more. And see, now that I see it small, I don't really like that font, so I'm going to go ahead and change it to something else. Maybe beach. Okay, and a lot of times you're going to have to change your color back when you change your font. That's just design space. It's what they do. Oh, now this one's kind of fun. So I like this font a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and work on my letter spacing because it's really spaced out and I don't like it. So in order to do letter spacing, you're going to go up here to the very top and you'll see where it says letter space, and you're just going to click the down arrow. And we're going to reduce the letter space. I want all letters to touch so that they look like they're actually handwritten. I think we need to go just a little closer. That's good. And now you can actually expand your word so that you can see it better on your tile. I like that. I think that's really cute and fun. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, the one thing I will say I don't like is this. This is way too close to the eye. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. If you don't love how your letters are touching, all you have to do is click Ungroup, and it's going to give you each letter individually, so you can move them around as you like. So I don't like this little apostrophe here, so I'm just going to move it down and over a little bit, and I think it looks much better there. So next thing you want to do is select all of your letters. I'm going to leave mine on one line. You guys can design them however you want. So you can either select your letters in a couple different ways. You can select them all here from the side, or you can individually click them by holding Control and clicking each letter. And don't forget all the pieces. I will say this one doesn't work as well, especially when you have little tiny like apostrophes and things, because you have to make sure you click directly on them. And you don't want to click your black box because it will attach that. And right now we don't want to do that because we're not going to actually use the black box for anything. So we're going to go ahead and regroup our letters. Then what I want to do, I want them to all print out like they're going to be one solid written word. So I need to weld my letters. And you can see all those cut lines are gone. Cool, right? I thought so. So next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find a pair of lips that we want to use on our Kiss Me I'm Irish sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google. And I'm just going to put in lip clip art. This way we don't have to pay for an SVG of lips. We don't need to do that. So all we're going to do is just find a pair of lips that we like. Usually the simpler the better, especially depending on like your tile, but it's all the look you want to go for. I kind of like these ones. Actually, I think there was a red pair up here I liked a little bit better. Yeah, I like these ones a little bit better. They're a little cleaner. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and save the image as, and you're going to just save it in whatever folder you put your projects in. And you go back into Design Space and you're going to go ahead and click Upload. We're going to want to upload a new image, so we're going to upload image. We're going to go ahead and browse, and we're going to find the folder that it's in. In mine, it's in my Cricut folder. You're just going to scroll down until you find the ones that you're looking for. So these were the ones I saved. These are pretty simple, so you're going to want to select Simple. You're going to hit Continue, and then what you want to do is delete all your negative space. So I want to delete the backgrounds. And I think that's pretty good. It got everything between all the lips. I'm not going to have it pull out this piece. I don't need it. I think it looks fine without it being pulled out. So what you're going to do is click Continue. Now, you'll see you have the colored version and then you have the gray version. The gray version is a cut image, and that's what we want because we're going to cut this out of some red vinyl. So you're going to click Save. And it's going to go ahead and save it into your recently uploaded. So what we want to do is go ahead and insert our image. Now it's going to come up black. We don't want black. I'm going to make these in red vinyl, so I'm going to do that same thing where I changed my words, the color. You're going to go over to your right hand side, click your little colored dot, and change them to whatever color you're going to make them. It doesn't matter. You could make them blue and print them out, cut them in any color you want. Now I'm going to do this as kind of a layered look, so I want to actually move these lips so that they're behind the words. So in order to do that, I'm just going to right click and I'm going to say move backward. And it's going to put it just behind the words. Now I'm going to go ahead and make my lips a little bit bigger. And you can kind of play with everything as you wish. I think I'm going to move that back down a little bit. And just, this is just so you can get a look at what your item is going to look like when you've completed. So I really like that. I think that's really fun. But I think we need like a little shamrock down here. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this, and I'll show you how to do it if you're just using Design Space. You're going to go into Images, and it's going to load all your images. So you can look up Shamrock up here in the search bar, and you're just going to go ahead and click Search. Now, you see a lot of them cost money, but you'll see I have one uploaded already. What you can do is if you don't want to pay for them, you just go over to Filter and click on Free. Now, I don't have Cricut access. I don't see the point. It's useless for me. But usually it'll come up with something. But if you have Cricut access, you can go ahead and click on that, and it'll bring up all the ones that you can get. Now, these ones for you guys will be free. So you could use any of these little shamrock images that you wanted. Like I said, for me, I just don't see the point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one from my recently uploaded images. So I'm going to go into my uploads, and I'm going to find that shamrock. And it might not... So sometimes if it's not on the front page, you just got to click View All. I've uploaded quite a bit in the last few days, so I like this shamrock. And I'm just going to insert the image. Again, it's going to come up black. I'm going to make my shamrock like a gold, I think, because I think that's really fun to go with St. Patrick's Day. So I'm going to go ahead and make it yellow. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'll make this guy a little bit smaller, and he's just going to be down here in this lower corner. Just as like a cute accent piece. So we've made our tile. Now, all you want to do is you're going to need to get rid of your big black box because we don't need it and we don't want it to cut that part. So you're going to select the black box and you're just going to close it. Now, you'll see it kind of looks like a jumbled mess right now, but this is how it'll lay on your tile. So we're going to go ahead and click Make It, and I'll show you how it looks. It's going to show you each mat that it's going to need to cut. So we need a yellow or gold. We're going to need a green for the words, and then we're going to need a red for our lips. The nice thing is that it tells you exactly what you're going to cut and when you're going to cut it. I will show you guys the Cricut cutting all of this. I'll get all my mats set up and then we will go ahead and get this cut. Okay, so we're just about ready to cut our vinyl out. This project's great for like scraps and things. So I have a big scrap of gold that I'm going to use for my shamrock. So I'm just going to put this on my green mat so that it holds it nice and tight for when it's cut. And you'll see it's a pretty big scrap. I used it actually earlier for a really big design. So you can see it's kind of a random piece of scrap, but it'll work perfectly for my little shamrock. Just try to press it down so that it holds. And we're going to go over to the computer screen and I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And what that's going to do is it's going to tell our machine that we're ready to cut. And you'll see that the little load button lights up, and all the buttons light up as it's telling you what to do. So go ahead and click load. And then the Cricut button's going to turn on. That's our start button. So go ahead and click the little Cricut guy. And it always tells you what to do, which is really, really nice. So you'll see here it's going to go ahead and cut out our shamrock. And the next page we're going to load is going to be our green. The shamrock cuts really quickly, so we're going to go ahead and unload that. Pull that off. Oh, shit. The other thing you want to make sure is that you actually look at what your item is set to, because I cut too deep. So I can still use it since it's a small piece. It won't be hard to peel off the backing there, but it shouldn't have cut all the way through. I did change it back to the vinyl setting. I just cut some cardstock the other day, and that is one of my biggest things, is always make sure that you check your dial. I really need to make myself a post-it note for these types of things, but these happen, and a lot of times you can fix it, and it's not that big of a deal. But we're going to go ahead and make sure we have it on our right setting, which this is where you set. I set it back to vinyl, and we're going to cut out the Kiss Me part now. Again, we're going to go ahead and hit our Cricut button. And it's going to cut out the Kiss Me part. Like I said, this is going to cut it all like it's one word, so that's going to be really nice. Be nice and clean looking. If you need help on letter spacing, I do have a tutorial on letter spacing as well. Pretty easy to understand. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but there's lots of great options and a lot of really great fonts that you can use in order to make some really pretty words. I get all my fonts from defont.com and a few other little sites, but I don't really like to pay for that type of stuff. I think it's silly to pay a lot of money for something when you know you can get it for free. So it's going to finish up our Kiss Me, I'm Irish, which it's just doing the bottom part of the words right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take that out. Now this one is going to come off the correct way because I changed the settings. So you can see it didn't pull the words off. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. Now we're going to go ahead and cut out our lips, which again we're going to use some scrap vinyl. These types of little projects are great for the scraps, so don't throw out your little scraps because they're excellent for this. So we're going to go ahead and put our red for our red lips in. Make sure that your mats are under the little white tabs, and you're just going to hit the load button again. And it's going to go ahead and have us hit the start button. And it is going to go ahead and cut out our lips. And you'll see they cut out the lips pretty quickly. It's not a huge project, which is really nice. This is a nice quick Sunday project that you guys can do with your friends and your family. Okay, we're going to go ahead and unload that mat, and then I'll show you guys all the weeding and the application. Okay, so we're ready to weed, which is basically just taking off the vinyl that you don't need. I always cut my designs out so that they're not wasting as much vinyl. The lips are going to be really simple to weed because they're pretty simple designs. So you're just going to peel off. You can use your nail, or I like to use my little Cricut hook tool. So we're just going to go ahead and get that under the vinyl. And we're just going to peel it right up. Now you'll see it leaves us with our lips. These ones are a little bit more intricate, the ones with the words, so I'm going to go ahead and sit down to do this and make sure y'all can see what I'm doing here. The words I take a little bit more time to weed just because we want to be a little bit more intricate and they're a little smaller. So we're just going to make sure that all of our letters and especially the dots in the eyes, we see a lot of those that'll try to stick to the vinyl and not come up. Same with the apostrophe. Remember we moved that? We're going to make sure that that stays stuck down, and we're going to just pull up our vinyl. So there's our little apostrophe. He did stay stuck. That's good. And we've got one more dot for the I. Okay, that one wasn't too bad. So that wasn't too bad. So now what you want to do is just go in and get all the little center pieces out of like the K here. Sometimes they're a little bit tough to see. So you just got to hold them up to the light. A lot of people like the light boxes. I just haven't made one yet. But yep, you just peel off all of your little insides. So when we come back, we'll have all the little insides peeled off and we'll be ready to apply. Okay, so now we are ready to put our design on our transfer tape and onto our tile. So the first thing that we're going to do is wipe our tile off with some rubbing alcohol. And we're going to do that just to get a lot of the dirt and the dust, and especially since it was from a home improvement store, it's probably got a lot of dirt and dust on it. So we're just going to go ahead and just gently wipe it off, and we'll set that to the side to dry while we put our design on our transfer tape. I'm just using cheap stuff from the dollar store, but you can use the Cricut. It's a little bit harder to peel off. But what I do is I'll just lay a piece of it on top, just kind of get an idea of how big I need it, and I just cut out a chunk. That is how big I need it. Now to apply this one, because we're doing a layered look, we need to put our lips down first, then our Kiss Me I'm Irish, and then our little shamrock. So we're going to go ahead and peel our transfer tape away from the backing. And we're going to go ahead and put our little lips onto our transfer tape. Get your Cricut scraper out or credit card or whatever you need. And we're going to just press them into our lips so that we make sure that they're going to stick. And all you got to do is peel it back and they should stick just fine. So I'm going to do these at kind of a little bit of an angle. You can put them however you like, but I think I'm going to do kind of an angle on them. You just want to stick them wherever you want, and then go ahead and press them again with your scraper tool. And it's going to go ahead and put your lips on your tile. And when you peel back, your lips are stuck to your tile. I'm going to save this piece of transfer tape because I can use it on my little shamrock. It's a little too small for this. So we're going to cut out another piece of transfer tape, and let me just measure out about how big I need. That, just need this. So we're going to do the same thing with the Kiss Me I'm Irish. We're going to go ahead and peel off our transfer tape from the backing. And we're going to put it right on top. Just press it down with your finger first. Oops. That happens from sometimes. It's no big deal. And we're just going to do the same thing where we press with our scraper. The one thing is make sure that you do press on all of your I's and your apostrophes, because those are the same thing. They don't always like to stick to the transfer tape. So you just want to make sure that you press them down really well. And we're just going to go ahead and peel back. Now you see this, it doesn't always peel all the way. It's okay, use your finger, kind of guide it along. It's perfectly fine. Now the M didn't want to come at all, so we're just going to go ahead and repress the M. And it should come up. Yep, no problem. Same thing with the I. Definitely want to make sure that you do press each letter individually. I did not, and that was my downfall. I should have. So we're going to press each letter individually. And here they come. So there we go. We have our Kiss Me I'm Irish. So we're going to go ahead and apply that on here. This doesn't have to be perfect. It's however you like it. So don't worry if it's not 100% straight. But I'm going to put it right there. Now I made mine nice and big so that it fit across the whole tile. And we're going to go ahead and just press that. And we're again just going to make sure you press all the little parts and pieces, each letter individually. I like to go in little circles. It seems to make sure that everything truly sticks really nicely. Again, don't forget that apostrophe. Don't forget the dots for the eye. Make sure you get around the edges. And we're going to go ahead and peel. So we're just going to carefully peel. And you just want to watch as you go that all of your letters and your punctuations do stay. So we're just going to peel that off. So now we have that. Now, our shamrock that I cut a little too deep, he's going to be a little bit tougher to weed, and I don't even know if he's going to weed real well. But you can use your nail. If you cut him too deep, especially like little shapes like this, you can just use your nail or your weedy tool, your little hook, and just get under there. And this we really don't even probably need the transfer tape for because it is such a small piece. And we're just going to go ahead and put it right here in this lower corner. And I'm just going to press this one with my finger because we didn't use the transfer tape and we don't want to scratch it. So, but as you can see, nobody's perfect, mistakes happen. But here we have our finished Kiss Me I'm Irish tile. I think it came out really cute. Hopefully you guys learned some new skills or at least had some fun crafting with me today. This is going to be a really nice little design piece that's going to sit in my house. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, please let me know below. If you have any requests for what you would like to learn to do, or if you want help crafting something or designing something, please don't hesitate to ask. And if you'd like to, please show me your crafts. I love to see them.